Good evening. What a beautiful night for a graduation. It's finally here. My name's Dr. J. Arthur. I'm the Superintendent of Schools for the MSD of Martinsville. At this time, I'd like to ask Caitlin Cook to please join me on the stage. Students, families, our distinguished guests, our school board of trustees, our administration, our faculty and staff, I welcome you to the 145th Martinsville graduation. At this time, I would like to ask you to rise, remove your hats, turn to Old Glory, which is over my right shoulder, and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence to honor all those we've lost this past school year.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for a brief moment of silence.
Thank you. I would ask that you remain standing for just a moment. Sorry. I'm always good for a laugh. I would like to ask that you please remain standing. Join me in an extended round of applause for our members of the military, both current and past, as well as our police officers, firefighters, EMS, hospital employees, teachers, essential workers, and all other areas of civil service. We thank you for all your individual dedication and effort to support each of us and our country, keeping us safe, protected, educated, and healthy. To each of you, we owe a great debt of gratitude, now more than ever. Thank you. You may be seated. Next, I would like to ask the following to stand and be recognized. Mr. Don Lips, School Board Member. Mr. Steve Brock, School Board Member. Mr. Dave Reinhardt, Secretary of the Board. Mrs. Debbie Lips, Vice President of the Board. And Mrs. Michelle Baugh, President of the Board, who is in the stands doing mom duty tonight for both Andrew and a family friend, James. Thank you for all the tough decisions we require you to make each month to keep our district moving in true directions of growth. Thank you. One last group of people I'd like to take a second and thank because they truly made this event happen. As many of you know, this might be the 53rd or 57th or 104th time we've planned this particular graduation, and we appreciate your patience more than you know. Ms. Audrey Jackson, Mr. Ryan Wagner, both assistant principals here at the high school, our custodial staff, our facilities staff, our district directors, and all those who've helped pull together what I believe is a tremendous graduation tonight. I've truly lost count, like I said, of the number of times this has been planned and the number of hours that these individuals have put in to make tonight happen, so thank you. Additionally on stage is Mr. Craig Buckler, Assistant Superintendent, who will be assisting me with the ceremony today, and in the audience, Mr. Eric Lund, Senior Class Sponsor. If we could give them all a hand, I'd greatly appreciate it. So here we go. Wow, who would have thought over 12 months ago when I accepted the position of Superintendent of the MSD of Martinsville, I'd find myself staring out over a football field of bank robbers. We raised a whole group of bank robbers, masked bank robbers. I I sure hope Mr. Moore at the bank is ready for everyone. But honestly, this has been one of the most interesting years I've experienced in education, and I suspect one of the most interesting years for most of all of us in our lifetimes. To all the families and friends in the audience who are here to cheer on a particular graduate, I say to you, thank you. A sincere thank you. Thank you for raising an amazing group of young adults. Thank you for guiding them, allowing them to fail, pulling them back up at some of their lowest moments, and celebrating them at every turn. It is because of each of you that we see this amazing group of students moving from high school to adulthood as they walk across this stage today, move their tassels from one side to the other, and march off the field. Thank you for sharing them with us. Thank you for entrusting each of us with their care for the last 12 to 13 years. Before I turn to our student body for a few parting words of wisdom, I'd like to recognize a few students formally. Students, a little more exercise. You're going to have to stand up. I'd like to start with mentioning the names of a few graduating class who've chosen to selflessly serve our country. These students, many of which are already away, had no idea graduation would get pushed to July when they made their initial commitments, nor did we. Thank you to the following students for your willingness to support our country through enlistment: Jalen Arthur, John Wesley Badger, William Carter Jr., Abigail Elizabeth Davis, Dante DiStefano, Suzanne Hopkins, Jackson Klusner, and Matt Thomas. All enlisted students who are able to attend this evening's graduation, please stand and be recognized as well. Thank you for your willingness to serve our country. Next, any student has received a scholarship of some type. I'd ask for you to stand. There's some money on this field. These people have worked hard. Remarkable, thank you. Students who are part of Academic Decathlon, could you please stand? Students who participated in a sport during your 4 years at Martinsville High School, please stand. Somebody be ready to catch my papers when they fly your way. Students who participated in performing arts events, please stand. Any student who has participated in any extracurricular activity of some kind not yet mentioned, a club, for example, or a particular publication team, a media team, please stand. Thank you. These are your graduates, pretty amazing group. Next, I'd like to recognize a few others that have been standout representatives of this class. Mason Littell, if you'd please stand. Congratulations on the awarding of your Lilly Scholarship. Your hard work pays dividends. Miles Anderson, you got to be in the front. So there you go. Miles Anderson, please stand. I'm glad you survived your injury. What a difference a year makes. You persevered and competed. No neck brace today. Best of luck to you. Dylan Gardner, please stand. He's going, why is this guy calling my name? Dylan, please stand. Thank you for sharing your belly flop video with me. I'm certain that your stomach, not mine, will never be the same, but memories were made. Do you remember sharing that with me now? Okay. Thank you. And finally, I'm going to recognize one last student, actually three students, gosh, getting ahead of myself, but re-recognize Caitlin Cook. Caitlin, if you could please stand. Some of you may remember Caitlin or may recognize Caitlin because Caitlin was on TV not so long ago, and that was why I asked her to come up and help with the Pledge of Allegiance as well as I want to recognize her. You may have seen her on Channel 13, so I want to say thank you for your kind words on Channel 13 during what felt like the lowest moment of the pandemic. You stepped up and told the world that sometimes things don't go our way, but we must keep moving forward. You made the community very proud that day. Thank you. Next, Bridget Balserac, if you could please stand. Bridget, top 25 in her class, athlete, thank you for touching people's lives in ways you'll probably never ever realize. And finally, JT Poor, if you'll please stand. And finally, JT, I want to draw attention to our one sophomore graduating with this senior class today. It's rare that a sophomore completes all that's required for a diploma so early. JT's aunt, Rhonda, works for the district, and now I see the work ethic of this family shines through in every way. These are just a few of the great humans in this class before us today. Thank you. Now I turn my speech to you, students. You've done it. You've beaten the odds. You've made it through 13 years, most of you, of public school. Several transitions from grade level to grade level, multiple teachers, more friendships than I bet you can count, and a pandemic. Let's all say that together. And a pandemic. Pat yourselves on the back. While you may not yet realize or appreciate the full experience that the schools of this community have provided you, or the skills that have been instilled, in time you'll look back and realize how thankful you are for all the things both tough and smooth during this part of your life. Each of these experiences have prepared you for what you will face in this world as you pave your own way. This is exciting for some, potentially scary for others, but what I can tell you is this: you will always, and I say always, be able to call Martinsville schools home, and will always have a support network behind you cheering you on in whatever endeavors you find yourselves. Today is your day. Well, due to the circumstances, I should say tonight is your night. Enjoy the speeches by your fellow classmates, hear the applause by the thousands of fans in the stands, and know that in a few minutes you'll be wrapping up this time in your life to catapult into the next. To me, you are a very special group of students, selfishly because you're my first graduating class as a superintendent, but mostly because you've ended your time here with your chins up and smiles on your faces, despite the challenging world we're living. Do me one last favor when you come back to Martinsville High School. When you're here for an event, whether that be a few months from now for what I hope is homecoming, fingers crossed, or down the road when you have a family and you're enrolling them in kindergarten and you're coming through the CEC to show off your children, let me know you're from the class of 2020. It would mean a great deal. I'll want to know where life's taken you and what you've become. Be proud of your past as it has led you here. Honor your present, for it is who you are now, and be open to the amazing human you're becoming as you transition to the next chapter. With this, I leave you a few pieces of wisdom. Wash your face, comb your hair, smile more than you frown, and be a better human tomorrow than you were today. This is your night. Thank you. An error, apologize. Eric Piney, could you please join us? At this time, I'd like to introduce Eric Piney, our Salutatorian, for him to give us his speech.
Hi, my name is Eric Piney, and I am the Salutatorian for the class of 2020. First off, I would like to welcome and thank all of you for attending the graduation ceremony for the class of 2020. You know, after March 13th, I never expected that I would actually get to give this speech, but here we are, standing here. And in fact, I'm quite honored to be here and actually be able to have an in-person graduation, when a few months ago, that seemed impossible. I would like to personally thank all of you that have made this event possible. High school was all about these individual moments. 10 years from now, you may not remember the quadratic formula or the different stages of mitosis, but I can assure you that you will remember random moments from high school. They may not always be important. They could be something basic, like all of the absurd conversations that you have with your friends at your lunch table. Or they could be something big, like winning a game. When I would talk to my friends about their various memories from high school, most of them would have no clue what I was talking about and vice versa. So that got me thinking, If each one of us remembers something different from high school, and even if we remember the same moments, our perceptions are very different. So if we took the best and worst memories from each one of you sitting here today, I think we could make a pretty good TV show. But it wouldn't be complete. It wouldn't have an ending. It would just get canceled on March 13th. That's what it felt like to have our senior year stripped from us. We never got to know how the story ends, but now we have this weird reunion episode that everyone still wants to see, but it's just not as good as the real show. What hurt the most about senior year being cut short, besides missing out on all those senior experiences, was for the seniors who were going into their final seasons of sports, music, academics, and theater. They didn't get to finish the final stretch of the race, where they could be role models to the underclassmen and have their friends and family come support them at senior night. We all had to sacrifice memories, but we also made new ones. Friday the 13th was one of the strangest days. We ate lunch in our fourth period class. We said our early goodbyes to our friends and teachers, hoping we would see them again. But the strangest thing was that all the guys that left the bathroom actually washed their hands. I just never thought I'd see the day. But at the end of the day, it's just as important to think of all your good memories as it is to mourn the loss of others. It's important to remember your teachers, the ones who you had the most fun with, and the ones that pushed you so hard and cared so much. Even though some classes were super challenging for us, in the end, what we learned most was not only the information, but that everything else seemed easier afterward. It's important to remember your friends, both new and old. You built new friendships in classes, and you had to dissolve old ones that were causing you trouble. I hope that you remember what high school meant to you, because nobody, I repeat, nobody had the same experience that you did. Yours was completely unique. Whether high school was a good or bad experience for you, I hope that the next years of your lives are even better than this. Having been in classes with many of you, I know what you can achieve, and I must say that I'm very hopeful for the future because of that. As we end our time here, I'm reminded of an Irish blessing that perfectly suits the occasion. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may a friend be always near. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric, for those kind and amazing words as we try to make sense of the last couple of months. Next, I'd like to ask Austin Roy to please come to the stage. Austin is our valedictorian. Please welcome him.
Hello, my name is Austin Roy, and I'm the valedictorian of the class of 2020. Man, it's amazing how nervous you can get when you're right behind the microphone. If you had told me at the beginning of the school year that this year was going to end as it has, I would have been speechless. But hey, here I am, speech in hand. So here it goes from the beginning. When I walked through these doors 4 years ago, I couldn't help but think, I already hate this place. And well, I can't tell you how much that has changed. Throughout my time here, I have had the absolute pleasure of learning from some of the best educators. I want to give a special thank you to all of los maestros in our Spanish department, Senor Jewett, Senor Martin, and Senor Maxwell. You have all taught me so much more than just a language. Senor Maxwell, you opened my eyes and changed my perspective in so many more ways than you can imagine. And I know you touch all of my classmates too. I really cannot begin to express my gratitude to you. And to Mr. Urban, Mr. Lund, Mr. Sturgeon, Mr. Barrett, and of course, Mrs. Johnson, you're all outstanding teachers, and I could not have hoped for better. I also think we should give a round of applause for our parents. I know it sounds cliche, and everyone here has probably said it before, but let me say it now. I could not have asked for better parents. I owe them everything. They gave me the independence, space, and security I needed in order to become the type of person who is not afraid to chase his dreams, no matter the cost. Every time I made a mistake or stumbled in life, my parents were always there to catch me. Going forward, I know they will continue to be my foundation, so in advance, thank you. I'd also like to thank Tim and Sherilyn Foley, and then Donna and Mike Sanders for also being outstanding parents and always welcoming me into your home. I really appreciate it. As I was sitting in my room writing this speech, I thought about all the memories I have made at the high school, from pulling all-nighters to study for U.S. history to slip and slides in the swim locker room in the dead of winter. These experiences have shaped who I am and who I want to be. I know this year did not end how we wanted it to, but this does not taint all of the memories we have made up to the start of quarantine. Mentally replaying all of these memories in my mind made me realize who always had my back. To those of you that stuck by my side, just know that you are what made these halls bearable. And although I never thought that I would one day be leaving these same people behind in order to continue my life journey elsewhere, just know that I will always be here for you all. Now, with all that sappy stuff out of the way, I just want to share some thoughts with y'all to keep in mind as we move forward and part ways. First off, each of our individual journeys is not going to be easy. The path will be riddled with adversity and challenges that we will all have to overcome. That being said, I really do believe if you have your eyes set on something, there's always a way to get there. And as it is said, where attention goes, energy flows. So keep your head high and your eyes on those dreams. And as for the adversity, my only advice to you is to not even give them your time. Life is much too short and unpredictable to allow those people to comment on you whose belittlement of you stems from their own internal conflicts. Furthermore, do not concern yourself with what others think of you. You all truly know who you are and what you are capable of. Don't forget that. From this also branches the next thing I want to say. Don't burn bridges that you don't have to. Connections with people, organizations, and companies are some of the most invaluable tools to actually reaching your dreams. This will almost certainly force you to set aside your pride in order to maintain connections, but nothing worth having ever comes without sacrifice. Over these 4 years, I have experienced the low of lows and the high of highs, and it has taught me that the one constant in your life is you. Learn to rely on yourself and hold yourself accountable, but also never forget the value of others and the burden's weight they can lift from your shoulders. Lastly, with the world full of so much hate nowadays, do not neglect the power of kindness. Go out of your way to hold the door open for an elderly couple, give a couple of dollars to a homeless man, or even just smile at the curious child that has been staring at you from his high chair in the restaurant. Little actions like this can make a world of difference in the development of others' lives and your own. I wish you all nothing but the best. Be true to yourself, and from here on out, you can't go wrong. This graduation ceremony is not the end, but rather the beginning of our freedom and adult life. So here's to the best graduating class from the worst year ever. Thank you.
Austin, thank you. Austin, did we get your sign right? Okay, good deal. Thank you for those words. I think as adults we could probably all pick up a thing or two from that as well, and could make life much better for everyone. At this time, I'd like to ask our senior class president, Maya Farron, to the stage.
Hello and welcome. Family, friends, and fellow classmates. I'm Maya Farron, the class president of the class of 2020. Finally, at last, on July 12th of 2020, an unforgettable and unimaginable year, we come together to celebrate the class of 2020, the class of perfect vision, us, our legacy. First and foremost, congratulations to all of us. I can't and won't even begin to describe what we have been and are still feeling on behalf of the events of this past year that have occurred in our world and specifically our school year. There has been so much sadness and disappointment. And to my classmates, I'm so sorry. Nevertheless, we still have 4 amazing years as a whole to celebrate and honor today because we did it. My senior year specifically, I learned so much about myself and especially about life. A lot of this growth stemmed from my experiences with my teachers. One of the best things Martinsville High School has to offer, in my personal opinion, is its teachers and general staff. Teachers such as Senor Maxwell, Mr. Yunt, Mr. Lund, Mr. Sturgeon, Mrs. Martin, Mr. Urban, Mr. Barrett, Head Custodian Bob Kern, and so many more made such a huge impact on me. I could always go to them with anything, and they never judged, they just listened. The teachers at Martinsville High School truly are a hidden gem, and I'm so blessed to have had the opportunity to be taught by them. I'm so blessed to have been taught by them more than just the state standards. High school has never been easy. There have been many significant events that have occurred throughout our 4 years, some good and some bad. My hope is that you all take each of your individual experiences and learn from them, grow from them, and use them to help yourself and others in the future, no matter what your high school experience was like, whether you hated it, loved it, or you're somewhere in the middle. As we move towards the future, I wish you all the very best with whatever you may do. I hope you remember the importance of learning, friendship, family, and just living life as if you're about to take your last breath. Run to whatever it is that calls you and don't hold back. The world can be a scary place, but I believe we're ready to take it on. If there's one thing Martinsville High School has given me, it's confidence, and I have confidence in you all as well. As you close this chapter and move on to the next phase of your lives, don't forget the magic of the world, no matter how dark it may seem sometimes. It has been an absolute honor to be your fellow classmate and your president. Never forget where you've come from. Martinsville may be a small town, but the love and virtue that it holds will affect us forever. Lastly, in Spanish class this year, we learned about an Argentinian revolutionary leader named Ernesto Che Guevara. And in his own inspiring words, "Deja que el mundo te cambie y puedes cambiar el mundo." Let the world change you, and you can change the world. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, great words for us to all live by and think about as we move forward. Next, I'd like to bring Mrs. Jackson to the podium.
At this time, I would like to present to the Superintendent of Martinsville Schools, Dr. J. Arthur, and to the school board members, 321 young adults who have completed the requirements for graduation set forth by the Metropolitan School District of Martinsville and the state of Indiana, and I recommend they receive their diplomas.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. On behalf of the school board of the MSD of Martinsville, I accept your recommendation and concur with the awarding of diplomas to the graduates of the class of 2020 who have successfully completed the requirements for graduation. Mr. Buckler, if you could please join me at the table of diplomas. Ms. Jackson, I'll hand things over to you.
Out of respect for all the graduates and their families and friends present here today, we kindly ask that you refrain from excessive celebrations when the graduates' names are read. This will ensure that everyone has a chance to hear the names as they are called. Thank you. Stephen Austin Roy. Eric William Piney. Pamela Acosta. Mackenzie Lynn Aliff. Grace Kelly Allen. Eli Nathaniel Allen Venders. Grace Lauren Ambrose. Garrett Tyler Anderson. Miles Ian Anderson. Ariel Nicole Armbruster. Colton Arnold. Kelsey Atkins. Mackenzie Lee Bain. Summer D. Baker. Bridget Marie Balsarac. Dylan Baldwin. David Balzer. Landon William Basham. Andrew Michael Ball. Bailey Beeman. Luke Ansel Beaver. Mercedes Bell. Allison Paige Bennett. Michael Stephen Betts. Elijah D. Bowling. Gavin Bowling. Leah Nicole Bradley. Haley Catherine Lorraine Branneman. Bailey Marie Brenner. Mary Britt. Mason C. Brown. Dayton Kelly Wayne Brummett. Brianna Bryant. William Bias. Ethan Cole Birch. Spencer T. Birchfield. Jacob Lee Burkett. Emily Grace Burns. Lauren Byer. Tanner H. Cancross. Haley Suzette Cashman. Cameron Chandler. Denelson A. Chang. Jacob T. Chastain. Sabrina Elizabeth Chenard. Annabelle Rose Cleary. Kenneth L. Kaufman III. Madison Rose Collier. Caitlin Elise Cook. Darius Cook. Madison Elizabeth Cook. Luke M. Cooley. Alexander Lee Cornett. Brady Britton Costin. Jacob Cozart. Madison Sue Crabb. Madeline Crockett. Braden Crook. Samantha Croy. Gavin Emerson Davis. Amelia Marie DeBates. Piper Grace Dilbone. Olivia M. Diapert. Brandon Dodson. Joshua Cash Dodson. Micah Lee Wayne Dodson. Paige Alexa Dorset. Brandon Dow. Sydney Ann Downing. Jessie Elizabeth Dunn. Shelby Marie Eckert. Bethany Dawn Edmondson. Ethan Edwards. Charlie Eggers. Kaylee M. Eggleton. Evan R. Eiler. Aaron M. Elliott. Michael Ellis. Cody Kendall England. Emily Marie Everroad. Nate Fair. Claire Ann Featherston. Gabriel N. Ferguson. Francesca Sophia Rose Finney. Zacchaeus Finney. Carson Tyler Fitzpatrick. Sophia Louise Foley. Jaden Lee Faust. Tyler J. Freed Long. Jasmine L. Freeland. Hannah J. French. Jaden Wayne Froge. Dylan A. Gardner. McKenna Gardner. Zachary A. Garrett. Felicia Kaylin Gentry. Elizabeth Ann Grant. Bailey A. Greason. Bree Gregory. Dylan Guy. Jasha Leanne Guy. Hunter Robert Hacker. Seth Hacker. Chris Ham. Joshua Ham Jr. Taylor J. Hamilton. Joseph Allen Harris. Stoney James Hayden. Sophie Helton. Braden J. Henson. Ethan Henson. Ethan Heron. James T. Hicks. Maya Aline Holloway. Curtis Lee Hornaday. Reagan Hurst. Adam Quinton Johnson. Haley Savannah Johnson. Hannah Michelle Johnson. Ethan Jones. Lauren Jones. Lauren Elizabeth Kaw. Hannah Marie Cadinger. Brenna Callis. Benjamin R. Keller. Marlena Sue Kemp. Samantha Lynn Kitchens. Lauren Gabrielle Knox. James Coonsey. Nathaniel Jedediah Lashbrook. Alexandria Lester. Madison B. Lindsay. Courtney Abigail Littell. Emma Grace Livingston. Noah Mackin. Bailey Macy. Faith Ryan McGinnis. Haley Malone. Colleen Bay Mappus. Austin Michael Marsh. Chelsea Marie Martin. Dalen Martin. Jaren Leanne Massey. Michael Mayfield. Brennan McFarland. Brooke Christina McFarland. Eden Camille McFarland. Jacqueline L. Mead. Rochelle L. Mead. Style Elaine Meckling. JC Mary. Jesse Miller. Madeline Elizabeth Miller. Andrew Paul Monsell. Logan Andrew Moore. Emily Moat. Cameron Murray. Kennedy Ray Murray. Samuel Lee Andrew Myers. Ashlyn Rayleigh Nail. Mackenzie Nance. Mary Nash. Jaron Blake Naval. Jackson Scott Netter. Jason John Nahoris Jr. Anna Rose Knoll. Olivia Osler. Amanda Jean Alcalt. Benjamin Owen. Mackenzie N. Owens. Jaden Allen Parker. Morgan Christine Payne. Anthony C. Peltier. Olivia Grace Peters. Bryce Eugene Payton. Salvatore Piccolo. Caitlin Pickering. Tyler Raymond Pinkley. Wesley J. Polston. Jason Poor. Alexander Poppy. Isabella J. Potter. Selena Troy Powell. Logan Price. Joy Lee Proctor. Haley Pruitt. Donovan Pryor. Hannah Lee Rainey. Julie Ann Reed. Sydney Ann Reed. Bridger Reese. Olivia June Louise Richardson. John Philip Ross. Sarah Roten. Abby L. Rudell. Claire Madeline Runkle. Charles Robert Ryan. Abby Elizabeth Salick. Gavin M. Sanders. Mackenzie May Searcy. Angela K. Sheeks. Elizabeth Leanne Sheets. JC Shepard. Mackenzie Lynn Shipley. Brennan Michael Shoemaker. Justin David Simcox. Elijah Ray Singer. Desiree J. Sizemore. Melissa D. Sizemore. Tiffany A. Sizemore. Spencer William Skaggs. Cameron D. Smith. Dustin Michael Stephen Smith. Sydney Jinja Smith. Trinity Smith. Austin W. Snooks. Zane Waterford Spangler. Dalton Sparks. Morgan Lee Spear. Madeline R. Stanfield. Spencer John Stevens. Madeline Steerwalt. Jonas Stillman. Emily Grace Stone. Madeline Rose Summers. Sadie Ann Suter. Jade Isabella Sutherland. Cody Sutton. Anthony Talent. Jersey Madeline Tannehill. Alexander J. Tackett. Carissa Lynn Taylor. Samantha Ty. Ariana Thompson. Iris Faith Toomey. Seth X. Tinnitus. Austin D. Vandegrift. Jessica Paige Vetter. Braxton Russell Dean Wagner. Meredith Cheney Walker. Brianna Marie Waltz. Madison Wampler. Brianne Marie Webster. William Alexander Welty. Craig Sidney Westner. Isaac Logan Whitaker. Caleb Williams. Carly Elaine Williams. Christian Harvey Lee Williams. Haley Rose Williams. Caden Daniel Williams. Juliana Nicole Williams. Noah P. Wolf. Sydney Rosalind Wolf. Alyssa Suzanne Woodard. Joseph A. Wright. Mackenzie Young. Morgan Chantel Yount. Mario Christopher Zintz. Alexis May Arnold. Maya J. Farron. Gwendolyn Hope Foley. Mason Ray Littell. Can we get a round of applause for the class of 2020? On behalf of the faculty of Martinsville High School, I would like to congratulate the class of 2020. We are all very proud of you. I would now like to invite Senior Class President Maya Farron to the podium for the turning of the tassel.
My fellow graduates of the class of 2020, in recognition of earning our high school diploma, I invite you to turn your tassels from the right side of your cap to the left.
At this time, this concludes our commencement ceremony for the class of 2020. Thank you for attending, and please remain seated until all the graduates have exited the field. Thank you very much.
Thank you.